your money. We are here with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial Advisors Corp, member SIPC. Vicki is live in the studio. Vicki, how you doing?
I'm doing great, George, and I'm really glad to be back. I feel like I've been gone like almost a year.
It's been a minute.
Because so many things happened, since I was here just before Christmas. But before I get too far into what we have to discuss today, I want to thank everyone because I came to announce our big announcement as far as our move and our change in affiliation. And the outpouring of support that I got after that announcement was just absolutely tremendous. And I love chocolate, and everybody knows that. And chocolate just started showing up. But last year, if you recall, we did almost, 52 segments last year?
52.
52. And I thought about it. That's like a whole classroom worth of stuff, okay? So
And they can find that classroom.
They can find that at brackensfsn.com or on your Facebook page.
Yes.
So, and we encourage everybody to do that. This year, we're going to change things up a little bit.
A little bit.
I will warn you right now, you should get out a pencil and a piece of paper. Make sure every week that we do this segment that you are prepared to take notes, because many times we'll either have notes that you need to transcribe or action steps that you need to take immediately while we're on air. But just to review a couple of the segments that we did last year, we started out with looking at the foundation.
Wait, can I back you up for a minute? I know you in your rhythm and your groove.
Yeah, don't
But
mess
what's
me
our
up.
mantra, though?
Our mantra is zero no more.
And what does that mean?
Zero no more means that in this life, we are going to pledge that we will not let our wealth dissipate, so that we will pass it on to the next generation so they will not start at zero anymore.
That's our mantra.
That's our mantra.
Okay.
And you messed up my whole segment because that's the last thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But anyway, going back to the foundation. Thank you, George. Okay.
You know what? We can't say that enough.
Okay, fine.
So you just say it again at
I
the
will
end.
say it again
That's
when
right.
we get to the end, okay? We started out with looking at a pyramid and giving a definition of well-being running from poor to wealthy. You can go back and look at segment number 1 to do that. We established our number 1 goal, which was that we wanted to do what each year? Increase
our net worth.
Our net worth each year. So right now, you should go back and look at what your net worth was January 2018 and compare it to what it is today, January 2019.
Okay.
We established your wealth retention ratio. How much of the money, of the revenue coming through your life are you retaining? We showed you how to organize your documents. We created or asked you to create a family mission statement. And we said you also need to answer the question, which was, what's
important about money to me?
What's important about money to you? Because once you establish the mission statement, you can take the pledge of zero no more, of passing your wealth from one generation to the next. So that was, and there were many other things that happened, but those were some of the key points in 2018.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Without messing up your little flow there.
Okay.
Well, and I think one of the things that comes up for some people is, oh my God, I waited too late. No. Right? Isn't that a big deal?
That is a big deal.
And we can deal with that later on, but I just want to acknowledge that for some people.
That is, okay, and you're right. That does come up for some people, so I'm saying this right now. First of all, with the things that we have now with technology, you can go back and binge listen to every segment over the next 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And you'll be caught up at least on the concepts.
Right, because if you can binge on Netflix, you can binge on financial prosperity and moving forward in your financial life.
That's correct. So all of those things are listed for you. You can go straight through them and get caught up. Secondarily, yes, there were some things we asked you to do last year that you possibly didn't do. But you would be better off doing them now in conjunction with what we're going to do in 2019. Mm-hmm. And by the time we get to the end of 2019, again, you will be caught up and you will be amazed at the progress that you're going to make. So it's never too late. What we want you to do is not sit and wonder or sit and wait and say, I can never catch up. So here's 2019. And this is what we're doing this year. We're going to look at some exercises and some concepts and action steps to cause change in your life.
Like for real, for real.
So for real, as you always tell me, okay? So let's get started. So here's what I'd like for you to do.
Okay.
Visually think about this, but I actually want you to take your piece of paper and do this. I want you to draw a corkscrew. You know what a corkscrew?
The thing that goes in the wine bottle.
Exactly. So it's like a round and round and round loop. Okay?
Oh, okay. Like
okay,
that.
like a spiral staircase.
Yeah. Like this, I'd scribble, but yeah.
Yes, that's it, George. Okay. At the bottom of the corkscrew, at the last rung, I want you to write your date of birth.
I wrote it, yes.
At the top, I want you to write your date of death.
Okay. Everybody put their pen down.
They did. I know they did. Okay. Put a date there. Okay. Now, looking at the corkscrew and the helixes, the turns that are in between, I want you to place an X at the point where you are right now.
Okay.
If you recall, one of the concepts we talked about a lot was what was your number one resource that you had in creating wealth? It was time.
Time, yes.
It was time, okay? So it gets back to what you were discussing as far as waiting too late. The more time you waste, the less time we have. But your number one resource is time. So when you look at that X, how do you feel?
Right.
And what's your first thought? What was your first thought, George?
I put a date that was 100 years from now.
That's okay. Right. But when you put that X on the showing where you are now, what did you feel? What did you think of first?
Well, first of all, it definitely caused me to think, oh my God, where am I at? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely something to think about.
All right then. Okay, so I want everyone right now to write down quickly, how do I feel about where that X is, and what was my first thought? And we're going to use this as a visual gauge for your goals progress throughout your life, because time.
Oh.
Yes.
Go ahead. You say it.
Time is the number one asset.
Yes.
But guess what? You mentioned earlier how all of your guests today are intertwined.
Yes.
Hey, vision boarding is another technique that we use for setting goals. And so I'm very happy to hear that the Women of Pearls are here, and I'm going to put a plug in for them. Go to their event this weekend, next weekend. Go to their event. So anyway, I want you to take your family mission statement that you did last year.
Right.
In case you didn't do it, you got this weekend to get it done.
Right.
Take the family mission statement, pull it out, and now create goals around the mission.
Okay.
And look at the graphic of that corkscrew as to where time is right now, and create another visual using that corkscrew method as to here's what our goal is, here's when we plan to accomplish it, here's where we are right now.
Okay.
And move that consistently. Make that part of your visualization consistently.
I know we had a time limit, so you've got about another minute and a half.
Okay, all right then. So okay, I asked the question earlier, okay, what's important about money to you? This is the method that we're going to use to move those goals forward. Also, I have a shameless plug.
Go ahead.
Guess what? February 24th is coming up.
That's right.
February 24th will be the 11th annual jazz event, event that Brackens Financial Solutions Network has been sponsoring with Central New York Jazz Foundation.
Yes.
This year we're again at the Marriott downtown. The performer this year is Marcus Anderson. Go to cnyjazz.org to get your tickets. We have sold out the last 4 years. I don't want anybody calling me crying, saying I can't get a ticket, Vicki. Go now.
Now, you all used to seeing Vicki all chill and reserved. Don't go to this thing.
You're right.
Go to this thing.
If you want to see Vicki in a different light.
In a different light.
Okay, absolutely.
Yes,
we have a blast.
And by the way, you talked about all this stuff. I got to do a shameless plug for you as well. You talked about all the stuff that happened in 2017. You omitted two very important things. Minority Business of the Year for the Center State CEO and one of the 25 most influential black women in business in the United States of America. Talk to me.
Thank you very much.
How you forget about that?
I didn't forget about it, but that wasn't about that wasn't about the audience and us
I just
moving
want
the
people
mission.
to know that
But I appreciate
you are
it.
America's money
Well,
maven.
yes, I am. Okay, I appreciate
February
it. So
24th.
So February 24th. So I will go ahead and then top this off because your pastor is going to tell you this. On Tuesday evening, I'm being awarded the Martin Luther King Award for Economic Empowerment for the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance.
Let's put that plug in. January 15th at the
January
Bethany
15th.
Baptist Church, 149 Beatty Street.
That's correct.
Is the annual IMA Black History Month. I'm sorry, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration.
That's correct. Okay. So now, George.
That's not it. You got one more thing. You're doing something with the Southside Innovation Center, aren't you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. But we'll hear more about that next week because I want to make sure that you get all the details, and I'll have a special guest on next week to discuss that.
All right.
But just remember, 4 Fridays.
4 Fridays.
4 Fridays. So at this point in time, I'll say our plate is full.
All right. Vicki Brackens, America's Money Maven. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, is a registered representative of LPL Financial Advisors Corp., member SIPC. And don't